Welcome back to informational Metalstorm content from Iris Gaming. This video is going to take the stat discussion videos and move up to generalities about the various classes of aircraft in the game. We'll talk about the overall picture of each class and mention some standout examples for each one, as well as an early example if you want to see what it's like at a lower hangar level. As always, feedback on the content is appreciated, as are subscriptions to help the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. I'm glad you're back. The 5 aircraft classes in the game are Light, Medium, Heavy, Interceptor, and Attack. Right away, if you've played anything remotely similar, then the names give you some sense of how they work, particularly the light to heavy gradient. But let's go over each in turn. A couple notes before we start. While it's possible to avoid some classes completely, typically you'll end up with multiple examples of each class in your hangar just to progress through the game. This video, and your experience, should help you decide which aircraft you want to invest resources in, and which classes or playstyles you may want to focus on more. We'll also cover more of this in planned videos on resources and progression. And finally, this video is obviously about the generalities of each class. There are counterexamples to most, if not all of them, with aircraft that don't really fit the typical mold of that class. Noting all of these is not the point here. This is about developing your high-level understanding of the game. Light fighters are the most agile aircraft in the game, while also carrying the smallest weapons and flares loadout and having the lowest hit points. Typically they carry 4 missiles in total, unless they have lower damage missiles like some of the early Russian planes do. Mostly they have 3 flares, although a few do carry 4. While some do carry medium-range manual missiles, none can have multiple in the air at once. Most light fighters have 100 hit points and can be one-shot by all interceptors. Stick close enough to terrain to get in cover with 1 flare if you're flying this matchup. A few have slightly over 100 hit points, but in practice that just protects against the J-20 radar missiles. The other 3 interceptors will still one-shot them. The agility is typically very good, as is the energy retention. Most light aircraft make very good dogfighters, although a few, like the MiG-23, play the boom and zoom role instead. Standout examples of the class are the Mirage F1 and the F-16, so aim for those if you like the class. The very first plane you start with, the F-5, is a light fighter and exemplifies most of the traits discussed above. Medium fighters are the quote-unquote balanced class, with agility, hit points, and loadouts in between light and heavy aircraft. Typically they carry 6 missiles, split between a short and long-range loadout, along with 3 or 4 flares. Some mediums have advanced enough weapons systems to have 2 manual missiles in the air at once, notably the J-35 Draken, F-106 Delta Dart, and the Mirage 2000. The energy retention varies widely among members of this class. Some are reasonable dogfighters, while others, like the Mirage 2000, bleed speed heavily in turns. The J-35 Draken is a decent early example of the class. The standout examples have fairly varied playstyles, but include the Mirage 2000, JA-37 Viggen, FGR-4 Typhoon, or MiG-29 Fulcrum. Heavy fighters are the opposite end of the spectrum from light fighters. High hit points, less agility, and bristling with weaponry. Typically they carry 8 missiles and 4 flares, and often these include either radar or advanced manuals that can have multiple in the air. While they're usually fast, they don't have the acceleration of most lights and even some mediums. Some have turn rates even better than mediums, but typically don't have the energy retention to dogfight successfully for long versus light fighters. The first heavy fighter you can get is the F-4 Phantom, and it's a good introduction to the missile carrier playstyle. If you like it, standout examples of the class include the Tornado ADV, the Su-35 and Su-47, and the 5th generation F-22 Raptor and Su-57 Felon. Interceptors are specialized long-range, high-damage missile carriers, and there are currently only 4 of them in the game. Their main trick is being able to one-shot light fighters at the same level, apart from the J-20 against a few of the light fighters, and to do it from across the map at 12 kilometers. They all carry 5 flares and between 6 to 8 missiles depending on their close-range loadout. The class also includes the only 2 aircraft in the game that have no cannon at all, the F-111 Aardvark and the J-20 Mighty Dragon. Their speed and agility vary widely as well. Beyond the class-defining missiles, it's hard to generalize about this class with only 4 examples of it. While the F-111 is the first interceptor you can get, the F-14 Tomcat is the most well-rounded one for solo play. If you like that, then you can consider picking up some of the more specialized ones. Attack planes are the final class to discuss. These all have high hit points, and many have armor plating to protect against cannon fire. Many of them also have cool engines to reduce IR lock ranges against them. All attack planes carry rockets, and no planes outside the class do apart from the F-100 Super Sabre. Most of them pair the rockets with some IR missiles. Typically they have 4 or 5 flares. Their speed is usually slower and their agility more on par with medium or heavy rather than light fighters, so they can struggle with getting across the map. The combination of rockets, cannons, and armor plating mean these are close-range monsters, particularly head-on due to their lower agility. Because they rely heavily on their rockets, these are usually best played on a control scheme besides touch, due to the need to fire cannons and rockets simultaneously. The first attack plane you get access to is the A6 Intruder, and it exemplifies many of these traits, although it carries no missiles at all. If you like it, standout examples include the A4 Skyhawk and the Su-25 Frogfoot. Hopefully this overview has given you a sense of how the different aircraft classes in Metalstorm compare to each other, and which ones you personally might be more interested in. It should also give you a sense of how to fly each class to play to their strengths versus the other classes. As noted earlier in the video, you'll end up flying most of these classes regardless of what you focus on. The forced unlocks at the early hangar levels guarantee you'll have a few light fighters and a medium fighter. It is possible, however, to completely avoid either attackers or interceptors, and possibly both. Neither has a large amount of aircraft in the game right now, and you can make up the difference with some extras of other classes. Thanks for watching. Feedback always welcome and appreciated. If you found this content helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel get off the ground. And until next time, fly well.